Me name is Miss Luva Heart. I am 108 years old, born and raised right here in Jamaica. My bones are old now, but my mind, it still travels far. People always ask me, Mama, how do you still remember so much? And I tell them, when you live long enough, memory becomes your closest friend. Most days you'll find me sitting right here in my rocking chair, just listening to the breeze, watching people pass by, and thinking about the life that has already gone. I never planned to tell my story to anyone outside of my yard. I never thought anybody would want to listen to an old woman like me. My story was just my story. It was filled with pain, with joy, with struggle, and with survival. That is, until my grandson Kemar came to visit one day. Kemar, that little boy has always been curious, always asking questions, always looking at his phone like it's a window to another world. One afternoon, he sat beside me, held up his phone, and said, Granny, do you know that people all over the world listen to stories on YouTube? I let out a small laugh. I said, YouTube. I barely know how to turn on the television. He just smiled. So patient. The same kind of patience I used to have when I was young. He said, Granny, people love real stories. People love the truth. And you have plenty of that. I waved him off at first. I told him, who is going to listen to an old woman's story? They want young people, fast-talking, excitement. But Kemar never stopped. Every time he visited, he would bring it up gently. He never forced me. He just planted a seed. One evening, I was telling him about when I was a little girl, how I used to walk for miles just to get water, how my mother taught me strength without ever using the word itself. Kemar's eyes lit up. He said, Granny, that is storytelling. That word sat with me. Storytelling, I realized that my whole life I had been telling stories already, to my children, to my grandchildren, and to myself, when the night was quiet and the memories were loud. So I started to tell Kemar more. I told him about hardship, about love, about loss, about the joy that comes and goes like the seasons. He sat there perfectly still, just listening. No phone, no distractions. Then he said something that went straight to my heart. Granny, if your story stays only in your head, it's gone when you're gone. But if you tell it, it will live longer. That one hit me. I thought about all the elders who came before me, whose stories died with them. All the wisdom that was buried with their bones. I felt something stir inside me. It wasn't excitement. It was a sense of responsibility. I said to him, Kemar, my voice is old. I talk slow, and I talk long. He just laughed. That's exactly why they are going to listen. But he showed me YouTube. He showed me other people listening to their elders. He showed me comments from strangers full of love and appreciation. My hand started to shake a little. I asked him, so you're saying my life is worth telling? He answered me so quickly. Granny, your life is history. From that day on, I started to talk more slowly, carefully. Truthfully, I talked about the old plantation days. I talked about raising 10 children all by myself. I talked about community, about faith, about how we survived. Sometimes I would start to cry right in the middle of a sentence. Kemar never rushed me. He would just say, "Take your time, Granny." I came to realize that YouTube was never just about views or numbers. It's about connection. Somebody, somewhere in the world, needs to hear that survival is possible. I tell my story not for fame, not for money, but for legacy. Because when I'm gone from this earth, I want my voice to still whisper somewhere, telling somebody, "Hold on, life is rough, but you are stronger." So, I thank my grandson, Kemar, not just for showing me YouTube, but for seeing the value in me before I could see it in myself. If you are listening to me now, I want you to remember this. Every life matters. Every story counts, even the quiet ones. My name is Miss Luva Heart. I am a 100-year-old Jamaican woman, still rocking in my chair, still remembering, and still telling my truth. And thanks to my grandson Kemar, my story now reaches much further than my yard. Thank you for listening.